Hi folks, so welcome back to another video here on building the house. We're going to continue on with this video here and just to, I suppose, give a brief explanation on what we've previously done. We modeled this house in various stages, and the most previous stage that we completed was shelling out the inside of the house. So if I was just to show you that, we got this little bar here on the left hand side, which is kind of like the rollback bar. If I click and grab that and pull it back up, you can see what we did in each previous stage. So if I pull it above the chimney, you'll see that the chimney is gone and so forth. So the next stage we did was the chimney, and then obviously the last stage we did then was shelling out the house. And essentially what shelling means is we're after creating a cavity or a space inside the actual house. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to create, I'm just going to zoom in here now. We want to create a sketch on the front plane using the dimensions given. You can see here we want to do a rectangle, and then we want to do a line here that is the same height of the rectangle. You can see the dimensions here are 45, 15 up from the ground, 15 in from this wall, 15 in, and obviously I think the overall height is 60. Then for the door, we're going to have a gap of 5 here, and then the same height, 60 as well. And I think what we're going to do then is we're going to mirror that over onto the opposite side. Okay, so it says here, select the plane using normal view, and then use mirror entities. So we want to get this sketch on the opposite side. And then to complete the sketch then, you can see here it says, use the 3-point arc from the sketch toolbar to complete the sketch using the dimensions given. We want to obviously, apologies, can't see that there. Use the 3-point arc from the sketch toolbar to complete the sketch using the dimensions given. And you can see here we want to do an arc for the doorway of a radius of 25. Okay, that is obviously touching both this line and this line. So that's what we're going to do there now. And then we're obviously going to, I think we're going to do an extrude cut. Okay, so starting off, we want to sketch on the front plane. So if you look at our axis here, we got the front, we got the top, and we got the right. I want to do the front plane, so front plane, sketch. You can see here, obviously in the updated version of Solidworks, after bringing me into this plane. Perpendicular or normal to. So I'm going to go to my sketch tab. I'm going to start off with just a corner rectangle. So you can see obviously we've got various rectangle tools. I just want corner rectangle. And I'm going to roughly draw a rectangle in around there where I think is appropriate. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a line. I'm going to make sure it's the same. If you notice there, it'll map onto that line over there. If you go a bit higher, don't worry. I'm going to do a line from there all the way down to here and then over to my origin. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply some dimensions. So sketch, smart dimension. I want the distance from this line to be a distance of 15 millimeters. I want the distance from this line to this line also to be 15 millimeters. And then finally, move a few things here, sorry, apologies. I want the distance from this line to the base to be 15. And finally, I want the height from this line down to the base to be 60. Okay, now what I will actually do is I'm just thinking if I click on this point here and this point and hold down shift, I want to make them coincident. No, Control Z, not coincident. I'll actually not add a relation. I'm just going to add a height to that actually. Apologies for that. So smart dimension, click on this guy here, same principle, 60 millimeters high. There we go. And then finally, I want the distance between this line and that line there, just to show you the two I'm getting the line between. So it's in between those two. I want that distance to be 5. Okay, so space bar, normal 2. So the distance between those is 5. So I just tidy that up so you can see it a little bit better. 15 there, 15 there. We obviously had 15 in here. The overall height was 60. The overall height of this one was also 60. Now what we want to do is we want to get a line, a center line, and I'm going to do center line up to the same height as the door. Be absolutely fine. And now what I want to do is I want to mirror entities. So in my sketch tab, I'm going to go to mirror entities. I'm going to select all the lines I want to mirror. So I'm going to select this line, this, so those 4, along with this one, and don't forget this one down here. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to mirror about an axis line. In this case, here's my axis. You can see it is mirrored over to the opposite side, except that. Now, you can see here, we've got a closed sketch. I need to close this one off. And if you remember, in our sketch tool, we want to do a 3-point arc. So I'm going to select this, select anywhere along the axis. Apologies, I went about that the wrong way. Mix it up sometimes with the center point arc. A 3-point arc. Select this point here, so I'll zoom in, select the point, then select the point, and then obviously I can increase or decrease the radius. So I'm going to go to about here. Happy with that. Now the next thing we have to do simply is smart dimension that. I want that to be, if I remember correctly, it was 25. And there you have. There is our doorway closed. Now if I just refer back to the sheet, it says here, you can see here we're after completing the radius 25. Okay, so we've completed the sketch. Now what I want to do is it says select extrude cut from the features toolbar. Select up to surface as the end condition and the front face. Okay, and you can see it down here. Okay, and then it says rename the feature as front opening. So I think what there's probably maybe a spelling error there, but that's going to say I'm going to say front opens. Okay, something like that. And then it says using up to surface end condition. Okay, that's just a little hint there on why this is helpful. So by selecting this surface, what they're saying is when we do the cut, because you remember all the drawing that we've done here right now is in the middle, it's in the front plane, we're going to cut out, and by selecting this surface right here, that means it'll definitely go through the walls and the walls on the left hand side. So that's the thing we're going to do. So if I just open there, you can see our sketches in the middle. So I'm going to go into my features toolbar, extrude cut, and very important here, when I select extrude cut, we don't want blind, we want up to surface. And the surface I'm going to select is this front face right here. And you can see there, it's after coming out to the front face. Now I'm going to accept that by clicking on the green arrow. And you can see there, we're after obviously opening it up there, and we've obviously got our various windows. Okay, so that's that part done. What I'm going to say is, I'm actually going to just rename that. Click on it, press F2. I'm going to say front windows. Let's say front opening. Will be actually fine. Okay, and we're going to progress on now to the next part, and we're nearly completed the model. So next part out here. So it says here at the very top, for the side windows, create a sketch on the selected plane using the dimension shown. Note the concentric circles. So what they're saying is, you can see here we've obviously got the side profile of obviously where the little I suppose window is jutting out. We want to select this surface to sketch on, and on that surface we want to draw a sketch that is 25 wide, so it's obviously stepped in a little bit, 15 up, and then we obviously want concentric circles up here. So this circle and this circle essentially are sharing the same center point. Okay, then it says select extrude cut from the features toolbar and use through all end condition, okay, as the end condition, and that will run from this face all the way to this face or vice versa. And we should get an opening down here like that. So that's what we're going to do there now. So if I go back into my Solidworks model, so I want to sketch on this surface, so select the face you want to sketch on, select the sketch tab, and now go over to your sketch toolbar. And what I want to do is I would like to, I'm going to come down to about, there you go, you can see the center point there. So what I'll actually do first of all is I might actually grab a circle. Lots of ways you go about this. So you can see the center point is automatically coming up for me. When it automatically comes up like that, I'm going to draw in a circle there. Because it's sharing the same center point, they will be concentric. Okay, and what I want to do now is I want to give that circle a dimension. I'm going to say on the sheet it says that the base is 25 wide, so the diameter is 25. So there's the circle, diameter 25, perfect. Now using that circle as a guide, you can see here on the side you've got this little node here, the little kind of orange diamond. Click on that. I'm going to drag down to here. I'm going to drag across, and you can see it's mapping onto the one above it. And there we go. Last dimension, a smart dimension from here down to here, and I want that distance to be 15. So there we go. But what we want to do now is inside in here, I'm going to use my trim entities, my power trim. I'm going to run just through that there. And there's our perfect opening that we're happy with. Okay, I've got a diameter of 25 for the circle, which means that this line down here is also 25. Now if I went to dimension that line, it would probably tell me that it's a driven dimension. Yes, and we don't want that. There's no need to dimension this line here 25, The reason being is because we already recognize that the diameter of the circle is 25. So when you start putting in things that are, I suppose, too much, it becomes what's known as a driven dimension. Now there's our sketch, it's on the surface. What we want to do now is we want to go features, extrude cut, and this time, instead of saying up the surface, I'm going to say through all. And what should happen here is, you can see there, it's gone through the whole thing until it's come out the other side. When I'm happy with that, I'm going to accept it with the green arrow. And there you go. That there is the side window opening. So once again, go to your features toolbar, F2, click on it, F2. I'm going to say side windows. And I'll say opening as well. And there you have it. That there is the model house created. What I would always do now is, wherever you are, obviously it's something you should be getting into the habit of doing, file, save as. We want to save our progress. Wherever you're saving that in, I'm actually on my desktop in my Solidworks folder. I'm going to go to my model house, and I previously have the model in there, so I'm updating that for what I'm doing in this video, and I'm clicking save. Do you want to replace what you have previously done? Yes, because I have made changes, so I'm happy with that. That there is the model house saved. Okay, so that's that video done, guys. In the next video, in the final video, what we're going to do is we're just going to edit some appearances here, and we're going to add a little bit of structure to the roof and to the walls and so forth. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. That's that video done.